Alien crew in danger, sends a distress signal. Earth's best pilot answers the call. The alien ship drifted silently in the cold darkness near the edge of the star system. Lights flickered weakly along the hull, and the hum of machinery was uneven, broken by alarms that sounded in rhythm with the failing systems. Captain Lyra sat in the control chair, her 3 eyes fixed on the monitors. She tapped the console repeatedly, but nothing responded. The ship's engines had taken heavy damage in the attack. They were stranded, alone, and far from any known help. Lyra's heart beat fast, but she forced herself to stay calm. She could feel the stress in the crew around her. Engineer Maya Lopez worked frantically on the main reactor, her hands moving faster than the eye could see. Sparks flew from broken panels, and smoke rose in small clouds from damaged circuits. "We can't keep it running much longer," Maya said, her voice shaking slightly. "If the core goes, we all go with it." Lyra turned to the communications console. She tried to send a distress signal, but the system was weak. The raiders had hit the antennas first. She could barely transmit, and she didn't even know if anyone would hear. She pressed the button again, hoping for a miracle. A small hologram flickered to life, showing the signal traveling into space. It was weak, almost invisible against the blackness of the stars. She whispered to herself, "Please, someone answer." The crew gathered around her, fear and worry written on their faces. Navigator Kyle Venn, a tall, slender alien with green skin, looked at Lyra with wide eyes. "Captain, do you really think anyone will come?" he asked. His voice trembled, and his hands clutched the edge of the console. Lyra shook her head slightly, but she did not give up. "I don't know," she said honestly. "But we have to try. We can't just sit here and wait for the end." Someone might hear us. Someone always does. Outside the ship, the debris from the ambush floated slowly past. Twisted metal and small fires drifted across the void. Lyra watched silently as another small piece of the hull broke free. It was a sharp reminder of how close they had come to destruction. She felt a pang of anger and sadness. They had been exploring this system for peaceful research, mapping new worlds, and studying stars. And now it was all ruined by raiders who didn't care about life or law. In a small corner of the galaxy far from the alien system, Earth's orbiting research stations were quiet. The hum of human technology filled the stations with routine energy, and ships moved in and out, controlled and precise. In the test bay, Jack Carter adjusted the controls of his small, fast ship. His eyes were calm, focused, scanning the instruments. He had trained for emergencies, for fast decisions, and for dangerous situations. Today was just a regular test flight. At least, that's what it seemed. Then a faint signal blinked on his monitor. It was irregular, weak, almost impossible to detect. Jack frowned. He leaned closer, adjusting the frequency. The signal was alien. He had never seen a pattern like this before. It was a distress call, but very old-fashioned in how it was being sent. It had no clear identification, no coordinates, just a call for help. Jack's instincts kicked in. He knew ignoring it was not an option. His training reminded him of the rules. Do not engage with unknown alien signals alone. Stay in orbit, wait for instructions. But Jack could not ignore the sound of someone asking for help. He felt a connection to the helpless, even across light years. He decided to act. "I can't just let them die," he said quietly. Someone has to answer. Back on the alien ship, Lyra's crew worked tirelessly. Medical Officer Senna tried to stabilize injured crew members while calling out to engineers for parts. The ship was failing faster than they could fix it. "We might not make it to the nearest station," Senna said, worry in his voice. Lyra clenched her hands. She knew he was right, but she refused to show fear. She took a deep breath. "We have to hold on," she said. "We must survive. We must send the message further." The alien crew began sending fragments of the distress signal into space, hoping that someone, anyone, might hear it. Each transmission consumed energy, but Lyra insisted. They had no choice. The ship's life support was degrading, and oxygen levels in the lower decks were dropping. Crew members were moving slower, their movements stiff with exhaustion. Jack prepared for departure. He calculated the course to follow the weak distress signal. It would take him deep into unknown space, far beyond safety protocols. He knew the risk, but he also knew that someone's life depended on him. He activated his engines, feeling the vibration beneath him. The ship's small cabin was quiet except for the hum of systems and his steady breathing. The alien ship's lights flickered again. Lyra felt a shiver of fear run through her. She could see the stars stretching outside the hull, dark and endless. "If they come," she whispered, "please let them come soon." She checked the monitors, trying to catch even the smallest sign of hope. Every second felt like a lifetime. Jack's ship moved faster and faster through space. He had never been this far from human territory alone, and yet his mind was clear. He focused on the signal, adjusting the trajectory constantly. The signal led him deeper into alien space, where no human had gone before. It was dangerous, yes, but Jack's confidence never wavered. He had always trusted his skills, and now he trusted them even more. Back on the alien ship, crew members whispered to each other, sharing memories of home, of past missions, and of their loved ones. The tension was unbearable, but the hope that someone might answer the call kept them moving. Lyra walked through the ship, checking on everyone. She offered small words of comfort, smiles when she could, and firm direction when needed. The crew looked up to her. She was their anchor, their captain, and their protector. Minutes stretched into hours. The alien ship's power continued to fail. Systems shut down one by one, forcing crew members to work with minimal tools and backup systems. Maya and Kyle worked side by side, patching circuits with what little remained. Sparks flew again, but they did not panic. They knew Lyra was counting on them, and each small victory kept hope alive. Jack finally approached the region indicated by the signal. The alien ship appeared in his sensors as a small, weak blip drifting near a dead star. The readings were strange, unlike any ship he had seen. He adjusted his instruments, carefully analyzing the situation. He could see the ship was damaged badly. There were signs of fire, hull breaches, and failed engines. His heart sank, but he did not hesitate. He prepared to approach. The alien crew sensed a movement outside the hull. They could not see clearly, but something large and fast was near. Lyra's eyes widened. Could it be an enemy? She gripped the console, ready to issue orders. She waited, tense. The blip got closer, faster, and suddenly stabilized near their damaged ship. Lyra held her breath, unsure what to expect. Jack opened a channel. A human voice, calm and steady, spoke across the void. "I'm here to help." "Hold tight." The alien crew froze. It was the first voice they had heard in hours, first communication that was not automated alarms or failing systems. Hope ignited in their hearts. Maybe, just maybe, they were not alone. Lyra exhaled slowly, relief washing over her. She could not see the human yet, but she trusted the voice. She signaled to the crew, calming their panic. "He's here," she said softly. "We are not alone." Jack maneuvered his ship closer, assessing damage from the outside. He could see the burns, the broken antennas, and the flickering lights. He knew it would be a delicate operation. One wrong move could end the mission, could end lives. But he was not afraid. He had done harder things before, and he was determined to succeed. The alien crew watched in amazement as the human moved with skill, working in the vacuum with tools designed for human ships but adapted quickly to theirs. Sparks flew, wires were connected, and slowly systems began to stabilize. The engines hummed weakly again. Life support restarted in sections of the ship. The crew cheered quietly, relief mingled with awe. Lyra approached the window of the control room, her eyes wide.
"He's fixing us," she whispered.
She turned to Maya, who nodded, equally astonished. "He's good," Maya said simply. "Very good." Jack worked tirelessly, never stopping, focused entirely on the task at hand. Outside, space was cold and dark, But inside, the hope of survival burned bright. The alien crew had almost given up, but now they had a chance. All because one human had heard a weak distress signal and answered. As systems stabilized and the ship floated safely again, Lyra allowed herself a small smile. She did not know this human, did not know his name or his story. But she felt a connection that went beyond words. In the vast emptiness of space, someone had come when no one else would. Jack finally returned to his cockpit inside his own ship, breathing heavily but satisfied. He looked at the alien ship, now floating steadily. He spoke quietly, as if speaking to the entire crew, though they could not hear him. "You're safe now. We'll get through this." For the first time in many hours, the alien crew felt hope, real hope. They were alive, and help had come. The human pilot had entered their lives in a way they could not have imagined, showing that even in the darkest moments, courage and kindness could travel across the stars. And far away in the silent corridors of human space, Jack set a course to stay near the alien ship until it could travel safely. He did not know what awaited him, but he did not care. Today, he had answered a call for help, and that was enough. Jack stayed near the alien ship, watching the weak lights flicker across its hull. Even though some systems were repaired, the ship was far from safe. The engines were weak, the shields barely worked, and the outer hull had deep cracks from the raider attack. Jack knew they were not out of danger. He checked his instruments carefully. Sensors showed no raiders in the immediate area, but that could change at any moment. Inside the alien ship, Captain Lyra gathered her crew. Her green eyes reflected relief and concern at the same time. The human was still near them, and she wanted to know what he was capable of. "He fixed some systems," she said softly, "but we are still weak. We cannot fight yet." She glanced at Maya, who nodded in agreement. "He is skilled," Maya said, "but we must work with him carefully. He is human, and humans do things differently. We need to understand his methods." Kyle Venn, the navigator, still looked nervous. He had never worked so closely with a human before. "How do we know we can trust him?" he asked. Lyra turned him, her expression calm but firm. "We have no choice," she said. "He answered our call when no one else would. That is enough for now." Jack maneuvered his ship closer to theirs. He opened a small docking hatch that allowed him to enter the alien vessel. He floated carefully through the narrow corridor, weightless, tools in his hands. The crew watched him as he moved with precision, adjusting panels and wires with human techniques that were unfamiliar but effective. Maya approached him, curiosity and caution in her expression. "How do you work so fast?" she asked. Jack smiled lightly. "I just focus on one thing at a time," he said. "Panic doesn't help. If we stay calm and do what we can, we fix the problem." Maya nodded, impressed. She had spent years learning the alien systems, but Jack seemed to find solutions she had not even thought of. Lyra observed silently. She did not speak much, but she felt something shift in her mind. Humans were different. They were bold, decisive, and strangely fearless. She wondered how one human could move so quickly and still remain careful. She could see the hope returning to her crew's faces. They were starting to trust him. Outside the ship, small debris continued to drift in the star system. Jack had patched most of the critical damage, but the ship was still a target. He checked the radar and his eyes narrowed. Small, fast-moving objects appeared on the sensors. "They're coming back," he said quietly to himself. He activated his ship's shields and sent a warning signal to the alien crew. Lyra quickly gathered the crew in the control room. Alarms sounded, and the weak hum of the engines increased as systems tried to respond. "Prepare for impact," Lyra said, her voice steady. She looked at Jack. "Can you help us defend the ship?" she asked. Jack nodded. "We need to be smart," he said. "We don't have strong weapons, but we can use what we have and trick them." Maya and Kyle helped Jack set up a defense plan. They used the alien ship's weak shields to create false targets on the sensors. Jack adjusted the navigation systems to make the ship move unpredictably, forcing the raiders to guess where it would be. The crew worked together, human and alien side by side, learning from each other. When the raiders appeared, Jack's plan worked better than anyone expected. The attackers fired at the false targets, missing the real ship entirely. The alien crew cheered quietly, amazed at the humans' clever thinking. Lyra felt a sense of pride mixed with relief. They were still in danger, but they had survived the first attack. The raiders retreated temporarily, regrouping in the shadows of the star system. Jack knew they would return stronger. He floated to the center of the control room. "We need a plan for when they come back," he said. "We cannot just hide and wait. We need to fight smart and stay alive." Maya studied the damaged weapon systems. "We can use what we have," she said. "Small energy pulses, gravity traps, anything that can slow them down. But it will not be enough alone." Jack nodded. "Then we combine it with trickery," he said. "We make them think we are weaker than we are, then hit them where they don't expect." The crew began working together in a way they never had before. Humans and aliens shared ideas, repaired systems, and prepared defenses. They moved quickly, communicating with simple words, gestures, and shared understanding. Jack showed them human strategies, and the aliens showed him their technology. Slowly, the alien ship began to feel stronger. Lyra watched Maya and Jack work together. She noticed the respect forming between them. It was unusual for a human and an alien to communicate so effectively, but here it was happening naturally. She smiled faintly. Realizing that humans could become valuable allies, she hoped this one would stay with them. Hours passed. The ship was ready, but tension remained high. The crew moved in silence, waiting for the next attack. Jack floated back to the control room, checking the instruments again. He knew that speed and thinking ahead would be the key to survival. The raiders were not predictable, but humans had the advantage of creativity. He hoped it would be enough. Finally, the raiders returned. They came faster, with larger ships and stronger weapons. The alarms blared, and lights flickered. The alien crew braced themselves, fear in their eyes. Jack activated the ship's defenses. Small energy pulses fired, hitting the raiders' shields in unexpected places. The attackers were confused, and their formation broke. Maya helped guide the energy pulses, adjusting their power and timing. Kyle calculated the ship's evasive maneuvers, following Jack's instructions. The crew moved as one unit, human and alien together. Every action counted, every second mattered. Jack saw an opening. He maneuvered the alien ship closer to a field of small asteroids and debris. "We lure them in here," he said. "Their bigger ships cannot move as fast. We have the advantage." Lyra nodded, trusting his judgment. Slowly, carefully, they led the raiders into the debris field. The plan worked perfectly. The raiders' ship struck the debris, damaging themselves while the alien ship remained relatively safe. The crew cheered quietly, their fear giving way to determination. Jack smiled. He had trained for situations like this, but seeing aliens trust him and work together with him was satisfying in a way he had never expected. The raiders tried to regroup, but Jack anticipated their moves. He adjusted the ship's position constantly, creating false targets and opening new escape routes. The alien crew followed his instructions without hesitation, their confidence growing with every successful maneuver. Hours passed, and the raiders finally retreated. Their ships were damaged, and they knew the alien crew and the human pilot were stronger than they had expected. The alien crew floated silently, catching their breath. They had survived, but just barely. Lyra looked at Jack, her expression a mixture of respect and gratitude. "You saved us," she said simply. Jack shook his head. "We saved each other," he said. "Your crew was brave." "I only helped guide them." Maya smiled at him. "You are different from what I imagined humans would be," she said. "Strong, fast, and clever, but also kind." Jack nodded. "Thank you," he said. "But we still have work to do. The raiders might come back. We cannot relax yet." The crew began repairing the ship, using the lessons they had learned from Jack's strategies. Humans and aliens shared tools, techniques, and ideas. The alien ship felt more alive than it had in days. They were still damaged, but they had hope again. Jack stayed near the control room, monitoring the sensors. He knew that more challenges would come, but he felt ready. Together, humans and aliens could survive anything. He looked at Lyra and Maya, seeing the determination in their eyes. He felt a connection forming not just of trust, but of respect and friendship. As the alien ship drifted slowly through space, engines humming weakly, Jack spoke quietly.
"We'll make it," he said.
"One step at a time, we'll make it," Lyra nodded, smiling faintly. "Yes," she said, "we have a chance. Thanks to you, human." Outside, the stars stretched endlessly. The ship was small and fragile against the vast universe, but inside hope burned brightly. The alien crew had found an ally, and Jack had found a purpose. They would face the next challenge together, ready for whatever came their way. The quiet moments passed. Jack floated back to his own ship for a brief rest, but he stayed alert. He knew the raiders were not gone for good. The alien crew repaired what they could, preparing for the next encounter. Systems were still weak, but teamwork and trust had made them stronger. As darkness surrounded the ship, Lyra sat in her chair, staring at the stars. She felt a strange sense of peace, despite the danger. A human had come when they were alone and helpless. She hoped that their bond would continue, and that together they could survive the dangers ahead. Jack watched the alien ship from the viewport, his mind already planning for the next attack. He had faced dangers before, but this was different. These were living beings, counting on him to guide and protect them. He would not fail. Not now, not ever. The first human contact had become a partnership. Humans and aliens had worked together, survived together, and learned from each other. And as the alien ship floated through the cold darkness, hope had returned to its crew. They were ready to face the future, knowing that someone was watching over them, someone willing to fight for them. The quiet did not last long. Jack was still monitoring the sensors when he noticed movement at the edge of the star system. Fast, dark shapes appeared, larger than the ones they had faced before. His heart tightened. The raiders had returned, and this time they were stronger. He alerted the alien crew immediately. Lyra and her officers gathered in the control room, tension heavy in the air. "They're back," Jack said calmly, though his mind raced with strategies. "This time they have bigger ships and better weapons." "We need to be ready." Lyra's green eyes narrowed. She had hoped the raiders would have given up, but now all the crew could do was prepare for battle. She turned to Maya. "How fast can we get the defenses ready?" she asked. Maya checked the systems quickly, her hands flying over the consoles. "We can manage shields and energy pulses," she said, "but weapons are limited. We have to be smart, not strong." Kyle Van, still nervous, looked at Jack. "We can't outrun them," he said. "They have more speed and power. We will be caught if we try."
Jack nodded. "Then we fight smart," he said.
"We don't need to match their strength. We use what we have, trick them, and hit where they do not expect." The crew worked together. Jack moved between consoles, floating in zero gravity, guiding the aliens on human tactics. He showed them how to use small pulses of energy to mislead the enemy's targeting systems. Maya and Kyle followed his instructions, learning quickly. The alien ship, weak and damaged, was slowly becoming more dangerous than the raiders expected. Outside, the raider ships moved closer. Their weapons glowed ominously in the darkness. Jack watched the radar, predicting their moves. He spoke quickly to Lyra. "We need to use the debris field near the asteroid cluster. It will slow them down and break their formation." Lyra nodded. She trusted him, though she had no idea how his human strategies would work. She ordered the engines to move the ship carefully toward the asteroids. The first attack came suddenly. Energy beams struck the alien ship, shaking it violently. Alarms blared. Crew members held onto consoles as systems flickered. Jack responded instantly, adjusting the shields and firing small energy pulses at the raiders to confuse them. The pulses bounced off the ship's shields unpredictably, causing hesitation among the attackers. Maya floated beside him, helping to coordinate the defenses. They are confused, she said. Keep going. Jack nodded. Good. Now we make them chase ghosts. He altered the ship's trajectory, creating false signals and phantom energy signatures. The raiders fired at the wrong locations, wasting their energy. Kyle calculated the next movements. If we turn sharply here, he said, we can lead them into the asteroid field. Their larger ships will have trouble. Jack confirmed the plan. Do it. Everyone, hold tight. The engines roared weakly as the ship turned, drifting toward the cluster of rocks and floating debris. The raiders followed aggressively. They did not expect the human to outthink them. As the alien ship entered the asteroid field, the raiders' larger ships struggled to navigate. Beams bounced off rocks, and some ships struck the debris, taking damage. Lyra watched in amazement as Jack's plan worked perfectly. Incredible, she whispered. He knows exactly what to do. Inside the control room, the crew worked furiously. Jack guided energy pulses and gravity traps using every trick he knew. Maya patched small circuits, keeping weapons and shields active. Niall monitored sensors, calling out enemy movements. Even the medical officer, Sina, helped by keeping injured crew members calm. The entire ship moved like a single unit, guided by Jack's leadership. One raider ship broke apart after striking a large asteroid. Debris floated around, and small fires glowed in the dark. The alien crew cheered quietly, knowing that they had turned the tide of battle. But Jack warned them not to celebrate yet. More are coming, he said. We cannot relax. The raiders regrouped and fired again, this time from a different angle. Jack anticipated it and adjusted the ship's shields to cover the most vulnerable parts. Energy beams struck harmlessly against the deflected shields. Lyra watched silently, her respect for the human growing with every move. She had never seen an alien or human handle a battle like this. It was fast, precise, and fearless. Maya spoke quietly to Jack. How do you know what they will do next? She asked. He smiled faintly. I watch patterns, he said. Every enemy has habits, even raiders. We use that against them. She nodded, impressed. She had learned much in her years as an engineer, but humans had a way of thinking that was different, unpredictable, and effective. Hours passed in a tense dance of movement and attacks. The alien ship twisted and turned, energy beams narrowly missing the hull. Jack guided them through tight spaces between asteroids, using gravity to his advantage. The raiders were clever, but not clever enough. One by one, their ships began taking damage, forced to retreat or risk destruction. Lyra's crew worked tirelessly alongside him. They had learned to trust his decisions, even when they seemed risky. Every action was coordinated, human and alien minds thinking together. The ship's weak weapons were used to maximum effect, energy pulses striking at just the right moment to disrupt the enemy. Finally, the raiders began to retreat. Their formations were broken, and some ships were badly damaged. The alien crew floated in relief, exhausted but victorious. Lyra looked at Jack, her expression a mixture of gratitude and awe. You saved us again, she said softly. Jack shook his head. We saved each other, he said. Your crew was brave. I only guided them. May approached him, smiling despite fatigue. Humans are strange, she said. You are not strong like the raiders, but you make us stronger by thinking differently. That is power. Jack laughed quietly. Maybe, he said, but we did it together. That is what matters. Outside, the debris of the battle floated in silence. Small fires glowed briefly, then went cold in the dark. The alien ship had survived barely, but it was alive. Systems were damaged but functional. The crew had learned to work together with the human, and trust had grown. Lyra called the crew together. We must repair what we can, she said. This is not the end. More dangers will come, but now we know we can survive if we work together. Jack nodded. I'll stay nearby, he said. We'll be ready for the next attack. We learn, adapt, and survive. That is how we win. The crew began repairs immediately. Small fires were extinguished, Circuits patched, shields reinforced. Jack guided them, showing how to work efficiently, using minimal energy and maximum effect. Even the weakest systems were strengthened through careful work. As the alien ship moved slowly through the star system, Jack watched the sensors carefully. He knew the raiders would not give up easily. They would return with more ships or a new plan. The crew needed to be ready. Every second counted. Lyra walked through the ship, checking on crew members. She saw fear in their eyes, but also determination. Hope had returned, and it was strong. The human had not only saved them from immediate danger, but had also taught them how to think differently, to survive against odds that seemed impossible. Jack spoke quietly to Maya.
"They will test us again," he said. "We cannot assume victory."
"We need to prepare, plan, and stay ahead." Maya nodded. "I trust you," she said, "and we will learn from you." Kyle then added, "It is strange. I never believed humans could be so fearless." But he is calm, even in the worst danger. Jack smiled faintly. "Fear is normal," he said. "What matters is what you do with it. We use it to focus, not freeze." Hours passed, the ship drifting slowly as repairs continued. The crew ate what they could and rested briefly, but everyone remained alert. Jack checked the sensors repeatedly, watching the star system for any sign of the raiders. Finally, the alien ship's shields were fully operational again. Energy pulses could fire, engines could maneuver, and small weapons were functional. The crew felt a renewed sense of strength. Jack had guided them through the battle, but they had all contributed. They were no longer just survivors. They were a team, ready for the next challenge. Lyra gathered them again. "We are stronger now," she said. "We will survive what comes next. We have learned from each other, human and alien. We are ready."
Jack nodded, feeling proud of the crew. "We have learned fast," he said.
"But the galaxy is dangerous. We must stay alert. Survival is never guaranteed." Outside, the stars stretched endlessly. The alien ship floated through the darkness alive and ready. The raiders had been driven back, but they were still out there. Jack stayed near, ready to guide, protect, and fight if needed. The bond between human and aliens had grown, built on trust, courage, and shared struggle. Hope burned brightly inside the alien ship, stronger than fear. They had faced a deadly enemy and survived because they worked together. And Jack, the human pilot, had shown them a new way to fight, a new way to survive, and a new reason to trust in the unexpected. For now, they were safe. For now, the stars were quiet, but all knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was full of dangers, and stronger threats would come. Yet together they had found courage, cleverness, and trust. Together, they would face whatever came next. The alien crew worked tirelessly, repairing their ship and preparing for the next attack. Jack stayed near the control room, monitoring the sensors, calculating every move the raiders might make. He knew they would return, stronger and smarter this time. He also knew they could not survive by hiding or reacting. They had to strike first, and strike carefully. Lyra called a meeting with the officers. "We have survived 2 attacks," she said. "But we cannot just wait for them again. We must find a way to fight on our terms." Jack nodded. "We can use their aggression against them," he said. "If we force them into traps and confuse them, we can control the battle. Speed and cleverness are our weapons, not strength alone." Maya leaned forward. "We have some options," she said. "We can use gravity fields, debris, and energy pulses. We can even set fake signals to make them think we are somewhere else, but it will require perfect timing and coordination." Jack smiled. "Then we need to practice and plan every move. Mistakes will cost lives." Kyle then spoke cautiously. "This is risky. If we miscalculate, we could be destroyed. I've never seen humans fight this way before." Jack's eyes were calm. "Risk is part of survival," he said. "But careful planning reduces it. We watch, we wait, we act, and we adapt." The crew began preparations immediately. Small energy emitters were placed along the hull, Gravity generators calibrated to pull and push the enemy ships, and debris fields were mapped for use as traps. Jack worked side by side with Maya and Kyle, showing them how to use human-style tactics while respecting the alien technology. Slowly, the ship became more than a survivor. It became a weapon of clever strategy. Days passed in tense anticipation. The crew trained and repaired. They studied the raiders' previous attacks, learning patterns in their movements. Jack taught them to think like predators and prey at the same time. Predict the enemy, but remain unpredictable yourself. Lyra observed quietly, impressed by the changes in her crew. They were more confident, faster, and more willing to trust one another. Finally, the raiders appeared again. They came in larger numbers, their ships glinting with new weapons and reinforced shields. Alarms rang across the alien ship. Jack moved quickly, guiding the crew into position. "Remember the plan," he said. "Stay calm, stay precise, and use the traps. We control this battle, not them." The first wave of attacks hit. Energy beams struck the hull, but the alien shields held better this time. Jack activated the gravity traps and energy pulses, causing confusion among the raider fleet. Some ships collided with debris, others fired at false targets, wasting energy. The raiders were surprised. This battle was unlike anything they had faced. Maya operated the energy emitters, timing pulses to hit the enemy shields at weak points. Kyle maneuvered the ship, following Jack's instructions to the second. Even Sena, the medical officer, assisted by monitoring crew stress levels and keeping the injured stable.
The alien ship moved like a single organism, coordinated by human tactics and alien skill.
Jack saw an opportunity. A small group of raider ships had separated from the main force. He guided the alien ship toward them, using a gravity field to push them into a narrow asteroid corridor. The raiders could not maneuver properly, and several struck rocks, causing massive damage. Lyra watched silently, her jaw tight with concentration. This human had changed the way they fought forever. The raiders fired desperately, but Jack anticipated each move. He used the ship's weak weapons to maximum effect, striking at vulnerable points while avoiding direct confrontation. The alien crew followed his lead without hesitation. Every pulse, every maneuver, every calculation was precise. The ship became a trap, and the raiders were walking right into it. As the battle raged, Jack floated among the consoles, issuing orders and adjusting tactics. Maya and Kyle were constantly at his side, coordinating energy pulses, shields, and debris. Crew members on the lower decks worked to repair damage in real time. They had learned to trust each other and the human who had guided them through the previous attacks. One raider ship managed to fire a strong beam, hitting a section of the hull. Sparks flew, and alarms blared. Jack reacted instantly, directing shields and energy pulses to absorb the impact. Maya worked quickly to patch circuits, while Kyle adjusted the ship's position to minimize damage. The crew worked together seamlessly, a combination of human ingenuity and alien skill. Lyra noticed how calm Jack remained even under pressure. He did not panic or hesitate. He analyzed every move, predicting the enemy's behavior and adjusting the plan. She had never seen anything like it. Humans, she realized, could think in ways her crew could not. Fast, flexible, and creative. The raiders tried to regroup, but Jack had already set traps for them. Small energy pulses created phantom signals, drawing enemy ships into the debris fields. Gravity generators pushed some ships off course, causing collisions and damage. The alien crew cheered quietly as their enemies were destroyed or forced to flee. Maya floated to Jack's side. "This is incredible," she said. "We've never had a chance like this before." Jack smiled faintly. "We create our own luck," he said. "We control what we can and react to the rest." Hours passed in a tense, careful battle. The raiders were gradually defeated, one by one, until only a few remained. Jack guided the alien ship to a final position, using debris and energy traps to force the remaining enemies to retreat. The battle ended with the raiders fleeing into the void, badly damaged and afraid. Inside the alien ship, crew members cheered. Systems were damaged, but they had survived. Lyra approached Jack, her expression full of respect and gratitude. "You have done more than save us," she said. "You have taught us how to fight, how to think, and how to survive. We owe you our lives." Jack shook his head. "We did this together," he said. "Your crew was brave. I only guided them." Maya approached him, smiling despite exhaustion. "You are different from what I imagined humans to be," she said. "Clever, fast, and fearless, but also kind and patient." Jack nodded. "Thank you," he said. "But we cannot relax. The galaxy is full of danger, and we must be ready for the next challenge." Lyra called the crew together. "We have learned much in these battles," she said. "We are stronger than before. We have survived by working together, human and alien, but we must remain vigilant. More threats will come, and we must be prepared." Jack spoke quietly to her. "We will be ready," he said. "We know the enemy, we know ourselves, and we know how to fight. Together, nothing can stop us." Outside, the stars stretched endlessly. The alien ship drifted through the darkness, alive and repaired. Systems were functional, weapons were ready, and the crew was confident. They had faced danger and survived, thanks to courage, skill, and cooperation. Lyra watched the stars, her mind calm for the first time in days. The human pilot had entered their lives and changed everything. He had shown them that even the weakest ship, if guided well, could defeat a stronger enemy. Hope burned brightly inside the crew. They were no longer just survivors. They were fighters, ready for whatever the galaxy would throw at them. Jack floated near the control room, monitoring sensors. He knew the raiders were not gone forever, but he felt confident. The alien crew had learned, adapted, and grown stronger. He had taught them to think like humans in battle, to anticipate, adapt, and act decisively. They were a team now, united against the dangers of space. Hours passed. The crew ate and rested briefly, repairing minor damage. The alien ship moved slowly through the star system, safe for now. Jack stayed alert, ready to guide them through any new danger. Lyra and Maya worked alongside him, their respect and trust growing with each passing moment. Finally, the ship drifted into a quiet region, far from the remaining raiders. The stars were calm, the darkness peaceful. Jack and Lyra exchanged a look of quiet satisfaction. They had survived the deadliest attacks, learned from each other, and grown stronger together. Jack spoke softly. "We have proven we can survive, no matter what comes," he said. Lyra nodded. "Yes," she said. "And we will continue to fight, together, human and alien, side by side." The ship moved steadily through the void, alive and repaired, ready for the next challenge. The crew had learned courage, strategy, and trust. And Jack, the human pilot, had become more than a savior. He had become a leader, a teacher, and a friend. As the stars stretched endlessly around them, the alien ship carried hope, strength, and the promise of survival. The crew knew that the galaxy was dangerous, but they were ready. Together, they could face anything. And somewhere in the darkness, the raiders would think twice before attacking again. The human pilot had shown them the way, and now the alien crew knew. They could survive, they could fight, and they could win. The alien ship floated silently through the stars. The battle with the raiders was over. For now. The hull had been repaired, energy systems restored, and the crew was recovering. Jack remained near the control room, monitoring the sensors, making sure no new threats approached. He knew the galaxy was vast and dangerous, and peace was always temporary. Captain Lyra walked quietly among her crew. She could see the exhaustion on their faces, but also pride. They had survived impossible odds, guided by a human whose skills and courage had changed everything. She approached Jack, her eyes reflecting the soft glow of the repaired control panels. "We owe you everything," she said quietly. "Your actions saved us, and your guidance has made us stronger." Jack shook his head. "We did this together," he said. "Your crew fought bravely. I only helped guide them. You survived because you worked as a team. Lyra smiled faintly. She had learned that humans often spoke this way, modest but firm. She appreciated it. Maya floated over, adjusting a small control panel. He taught us things we never imagined, she said. We can defend ourselves, anticipate attacks, and act faster than before. We have learned to fight like humans think, but also in ways that suit us. We are stronger now.
Jack nodded.
That is the point, he said. You adapt, you survive. That is how any crew wins. Kyle Ben, still slightly nervous from the previous battles, approached Jack.
I never believed humans could be so
clever, he said. You think differently. You see patterns where we only see chaos. Jack smiled faintly. Thinking fast, staying calm, and adapting to changes, that is all humans do in emergencies. You can do it too. You just need practice and trust. The crew began to move freely again, working quietly but confidently. Damaged panels were fixed, debris removed, and sensors recalibrated. Life support was stable, and small meals were shared among the crew. Laughter and conversation returned slowly, replacing the tension that had ruled the ship for days. Lyra called the officers together in the control room. We have survived, she said. The raiders are gone, at least for now. But we must remember what we have learned. Teamwork, trust, and cleverness will be our greatest weapons. Human or alien, it is our unity that makes us strong. Jack watched them quietly proud. He had not expected to find allies in this corner of space, but now he realized he had. The alien crew had learned to fight in ways they never had before, and he had learned from them as well. Despite the danger and fear, bonds had formed that could not be broken easily. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, peaceful for the moment. Jack knew that the raiders could return, that other threats might appear. But he also knew that this crew was ready. They had survived multiple attacks, learned to trust, and worked together under impossible pressure. They had grown stronger than he could have imagined. Maya floated beside Jack, glancing at the sensors. We should set a course to a safe system, she said. We need rest, supplies, and time to recover. We cannot stay here forever. Jack agreed. He calculated a course to a nearby system known for safe ports and repair stations.
It will take some time,
he said. But we will get there, and the crew will recover fully. As the ship moved, Lyra approached Jack once more. I have been thinking, she said softly. Humans are strange, but in a good way. Your courage, skill, and willingness to help when no one else would. It has changed our fate. We are alive because of you. Jack smiled faintly. I did what anyone would do, he said. I answer calls for help, that is all. Lyra shook her head, her expression serious. Not anyone could do what you did. Most would have waited or ignored the signal. You acted when others would not. That is why you are special. The crew moved through the ship, checking systems, repairing minor damage, and preparing for the next stage of their journey. Even those who had been injured during the battles were helping now, showing strength and determination. The alien ship was alive, not just in machinery, but in the spirit of its crew. Jack floated near the control panels, reviewing the data from the battles. He noted weaknesses in the ship, patterns in the raiders' tactics, and ways to improve defenses. This was not just a recovery, it was preparation. He wanted the crew to be ready for any future threat. They had survived by luck and skill before, but preparation would ensure they survived next time without depending solely on luck. Lyra observed silently, realizing how much she had learned. Humans thought differently in emergencies, using speed, creativity, and calculated risk to overcome impossible odds. She had always known her crew was brave, but now they were also smart in new ways. They had combined alien skill with human tactics to create something stronger than either alone. Maya approached Jack. You could teach others, she said. Humans could help other alien crews survive like you helped us. Your knowledge could save countless lives. Jack smiled faintly. Maybe one day, he said. For now, I just focus on the crew I am with. We survive together, learn together, and grow stronger together. Hours passed as the ship traveled toward the safe system. The crew rested in shifts, repairing, monitoring, and preparing. Laughter and quiet conversation returned slowly, replacing the fear and tension of recent days. Jack moved among them, helping where needed, teaching small skills and encouraging confidence. Kyle spoke quietly to Lyra.
I never imagined we could survive so many attacks, he said. But with Jack, we did.
He guided us, and we followed. It worked. Lyra nodded. We survived because we trusted him and ourselves, she said. Human or alien, courage and trust made the difference. Jack checked the sensors one more time. The star system ahead was safe, quiet, and peaceful. He set the ship on a smooth course, allowing the crew to relax more fully. We made it, he said quietly. We can recover now, but we must remember what we have learned. Survival is a choice, not a gift.
Maya smiled.
And humans can be a strange but powerful part of that choice, she said. Jack laughed softly. Maybe, he said, but the real power is in teamwork. Your crew proved that today. The alien ship entered the safe system slowly. Ports and repair stations awaited, ready to help the crew fully restore the ship. Lyra breathed a sigh of relief. They had survived countless dangers, learned from one another, and grown stronger as a team. She looked at Jack, gratitude and respect shining in her eyes. We will remember you, she said. You are more than a pilot to us. You are a hero, a teacher, and a friend. Jack shook his head.
I am just a pilot, he said.
I do what I can. The crew is the real hero.
You survived because of your bravery and trust. I only guided you. As the ship docked, crew members cheered quietly. Repairs could begin fully, and the chance to rest was finally here. The battles had ended, for now, but the lessons remained. Humans and aliens had worked together, learned from each other, and discovered new ways to survive. Lyra approached Jack one last time. Your presence has changed us, she said. We are no longer just a crew of survivors. We are fighters, thinkers, and friends. You have shown us that courage and cleverness are more important than size or power. We will carry this lesson forward, Jack nodded. That is all anyone can hope for, he said. The crew celebrated quietly, repaired their ship fully, and shared stories of bravery and cleverness. Jack helped when needed, but also allowed them space to rest and recover. Bonds had been formed, trust had been built, and the crew knew that together they could survive anything. As night fell over the safe system, Jack looked out at the stars. The galaxy was still dangerous, still full of threats, but he felt a quiet satisfaction. He had answered a call for help, guided an alien crew through impossible danger, and helped them discover courage and cleverness within themselves. Lyra joined him at the viewport. The galaxy is vast, she said softly, but with allies like you, perhaps survival is possible. Jack smiled faintly. It is always possible, he said. We just have to choose it, every day. The alien crew rested, repaired, and prepared for the future. They had survived raiders, learned to fight differently, and gained a new sense of confidence. Humans and aliens had worked together, proving that even across the stars, courage, trust, and cleverness could make a difference. Jack floated back to his ship, ready to rest but alert. He knew the galaxy would always hold dangers, but for now, they had won. He had found allies in the most unexpected place, and he had learned that survival was not just skill or luck, but trust, courage, and unity. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, peaceful for the moment. The alien ship was safe, alive, and stronger than ever. The crew had survived, learned, and grown, and Jack, the human pilot, had shown them that even in the darkest moments, hope could travel across the stars, and courage could change fate. The galaxy was still vast and dangerous, but the alien crew now faced it with new confidence. Humans and aliens had proven that together they could survive anything, fight anything, and overcome any challenge. And somewhere in the darkness, The memory of their courage and teamwork would shine brightly, a light against the endless void. For now, they were safe. For now, they had hope. And for now, they had each other.